Coming up on UCF Nightly News. Find out why local bars are taking extra precautions to ensure they stay open.
We look at how UCF researchers are developing a new seawater-based battery and why it can be better for the environment.
A proposal was made to lower minimum wage for hard-to-hire employees. We tell you how this bill could exempt 2 million workers from the minimum wage increase. Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Jaret Kappelman.
And I'm Matison Little. Today is Friday, February 12th, 2021. Breaking news, the UK variant of COVID-19 is present on UCF's main campus. The university reported yesterday that a student tested positive. The variant is said to be more infectious than the original strand of COVID-19. CDC officials say the variant spreads more easily and quickly than other strands. UCF officials say this is not time to panic. They say face coverings and hand washing will fight this strand as well.
Bars around UCF are being forced to make changes after receiving citations from Orange County's COVID strike teams last week. Nightly News reporter John Whitley shows us how the bars are responding.
Orange County reports the bars and nightclubs are more compliant since being cited last week. A warning was sent to the UCF area bars including Knights Pub, Knights Library, and Infinity Nights that they will continue to be monitored for following COVID protocols. Central Florida internal medicine Dr. Ray Baez says there's no denying the risk associated with these settings.
And everybody knows in the medical field that it's very high risk when you go to a bar and or when you're in a close area like that, especially if you're drinking, you can't be wearing a mask. I mean, you're drinking.
Baez says people who have already gotten COVID-19 have some level of protection, but has had patients get it twice. Since getting cited, Knights Pub announced on their Instagram they will be giving out masks and requiring them in line and upon entry. Attendees do say they have been strict about enforcing it. UCF sophomore finance major Thomas Stiles says he has seen Pub implement changes in how they handle the line outside.
Starting to space it out, so they'll have like a little section at the beginning, and then they'll have about 6 feet, and the rest of the line's there. So that way they're trying to minimize the amount of exposure due to the workers.
Stiles says Knights Pub still does not require distancing or masks once inside. In Orlando, John Whitley, UCF Nightly News.
Dr. Baez urges students to avoid settings with crowds in close spaces.
A new UCF study may identify COVID-19 cases and tell it apart from other diseases found in the lungs. UCF researcher Ulos Bagsy is part of a new study which will train a computer using artificial intelligence to find COVID-19 in the lungs. Bagsy says that AI can be as accurate as a physician. Physicians used CT scans, but they aren't always recommended because COVID-19 looks similar to other diseases. UCF officials report the AI may help this problem. The team will scan initially nearly 1,000 multinational patients. We will keep you updated on this developing story.
UCF scientists are developing a new seawater-based battery that is safer for humans and the environment than the regular lithium-ion one. UCF Nightly News reporter Taynna Brito explains how these seawater batteries work.
To become more environmentally friendly as they develop a new kind of battery capable to replace toxic components lithium-ion batteries contain with seawater.
Sees an increase of the virus in a certain area. They can inform residents to take caution and recommend a test. Freshman political science major Dominique Evan lives on campus, and she says she's happy to hear the university is taking.
Study co-author Yang explains why they chose seawater to be the base of the battery.
Firstly, seawater is cheap, it's no cost, it's free. You can use it anywhere. And another one is because we are in Florida, so we are very close to different oceans. So we can collect seawater very easily.
Study authors say seawater batteries work because of the amount of dissolved salt in the water that are capable to conduct electrons and ions in the battery safely. Researchers say these lithium-ion batteries contain toxic metals and solvents that can leak from buried batteries and contaminate soil and groundwater. Researchers say it's important to develop batteries with non-flammable components, as Americans throw billions of batteries into the trash every year. UCF professor and co-author of the study, Akira Koshima, says seawater batteries are also more durable than lithium-ion ones.
Yeah, so in terms of durability, I think, if you could utilize this, reaction more efficiently and safely.
UCF researchers say they are working on the seawater battery technology for over a year now. In Orlando, Taynna Brito, UCF Knightly News.
Researchers say the new seawater battery can be used to power everything from cell phones to electric cars.
UCF continues to find ways to track down COVID-19, and one way is looking underground on campus. Nightly News reporter Cliff Tumatel tells us how UCF is using wastewater to help track the virus.
UCF is now implementing wastewater testing as a way to track COVID-19 on campus. This program helps catch the virus early on before it spreads. If the health team sees an increase of the virus in a certain area, they can inform residents to take caution and recommend a test. Freshman political science major Dominique Evan lives on campus, and she says she's happy to hear the university is taking another step to find the virus.
The most problems on campus with COVID-19, I think that they should be doing everything they can to try to mitigate the issue.
Evan says she hopes the university can expand testing beyond the campus. Right now, UCF is currently doing this wastewater program at 5 resident halls and testing it regularly throughout each week. As the semester goes on, they'll see and decide if they should expand or change anything in the program. Chemistry Assistant Professor Melanie Beasley is leading the wastewater collection and testing process. She says the process was something she was familiar with.
So luckily in my lab, I already do this type of it's not COVID testing, but it's for other types of testing, and it's very similar to how we test for COVID.
Along with the wastewater testing, UCF will look for other ways to help keep track of COVID-19. In Orlando, Cliff Tumatel, UCF Nightly News.
Beasley says this project has brought many challenges, but is currently moving along smoothly.
Senator of St. Petersburg Jeff Brandes filed a proposed amendment to set a lower minimum wage for hard-to-hire employees. Reporter Julia Silva tells us what this proposal is all about.
While Florida's minimum wage is set to hit $15 an hour by 2026, Senator Brandes made a proposal which would exempt nearly 2 million workers. The proposal would allow state legislature to lower the minimum wage for hard-to-hire employees. Central Florida business owner and employment attorney Bertha Barrezo says the proposal is rather vague.
It just leaves it open, and absolutely the negative consequence of that is people are individually, or employers are individually going to make their own decisions based on their needs.
The proposal does not specify what the reduced minimum wage will be or who the hard-to-hire workers are. According to numbers provided by the Florida Department of Health, there are around 800,000 workers in Florida between the ages of 16 and 24. Senator Brandes says in a recent tweet that the proposal is a temporary training wage and is in favor of the hard-to-hire employees. He says the lower wage provides incentive for companies to consider teens and convicted felons. Junior communications major Malia Adams has a different opinion on this proposal.
It is taking the minimum wage, the raised minimum wage, away from people who actually need it.
Florida legislature will consider the proposal on March 2nd at their next meeting. In Orlando, Julia Silva, UCF Nightly News.
If the proposal passes, it would appear on the 2022 ballot as an amendment. At least 60% of voters must vote in favor of it to pass.
Walking in this morning, it felt really sticky outside. Tanya, what's up with all this humidity?
Well, Matison, that's because it's really hot today. Right now we are at a high of 80 degrees, a 91% humidity, winds moving south at 5 miles per hour, and 20% chance of rain. So all in all, it's a beautiful day today in Central Florida, perfect to go to the beach, take a walk at the park, and enjoy the day. That's all I have for right now. Back to the desk with Jaret and Matison.
Coming up, learn how a new bill will possibly impact international students here at UCF.
Also, applications for relief funds are open. Find out how UCF is helping those still experiencing hardships from COVID.
A new bill in the House of Representatives could repeal a decision made in 2014 and possibly impact out-of-state fee waivers for some students. I spoke to Florida House Representative Randy Fine about how this could impact international students. A 2014 law allows students who are not Florida residents to apply for out-of-state fee waivers. This includes international students. Florida House Representative Randy Fine sponsors House Bill 6037. He says this bill aims to delete provisions made in 2014. Fine says the 2014 law extended these waivers primarily to non-U.S. citizens who may be in the states illegally. He says the House must make some budget cuts, and he believes his bill would be most fair to Florida residents.
I mean, we're going to have to cut almost $3 billion of spending in order to have a balanced budget. And it's hard for me to justify spending $45 billion subsidizing the tuition of foreign students.
Fine says if the bill is passed, it will go into effect on July 1st. International student Oscar Ronderos Bueno is from Venezuela. He says he's on scholarship which waives out-of-state fees. Bueno says taking these waivers from international students will impact how many choose to study in Florida, and in the long run, he thinks this will hurt the economy.
International students are a big source of income from not only the universities, but for the whole United States. I understand that. But just for stopping fee waivers for the very few that get them might even scare away potential new students and might all even terminate the ones that are already here.
Ronderos says he understands why Fine would take this money from international students, but he says there are other places the money can come from. A bill which aims to grant these waivers to specific students is in the works in the Senate as well.
UCF is now opening applications for student aid through the Federal Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund. UCF Knightly News reporter Taynna Brito tells us more on how students will be able to receive the extra help.
UCF has received over $25 million in relief funds, which the university will use to help students who are struggling with the COVID-19 pandemic. UCF junior business major Pedro Messias says he was relieved when he heard about the funds.
I know I won't be receiving a lot of money, but right now, any type of help counts.
UCF plans to award $1,000 to each eligible student. I'm here at the Millikan Hall where the financial aid office is located and funds are disbursed. These funds are designed to help students with any expenses related to education or any emergency costs they could have had due to COVID-19. UCF officials say they will prioritize students that are still facing financial hardship due to COVID-19. UCF sophomore graphic design major Paula Kovac says the money will help her to pay for hospital bills.
So a couple of months ago, I had COVID and I had to stay at the hospital for 3 days. So hearing about these funds, they would help me out so much.
Starting this week, applications will be open to students for 10 days. In Orlando, Taynna Brito, UCF Knightly News.
UCF officials say funds will be distributed in early March, and students must have their most recent FAFSA on file.
And when we come back, find out what we can expect from Mother Nature moving into Valentine's Day weekend.
Plus, find out how a family pet is helping his parents lose weight while gaining views.
A UCF couple is working to create a new lifestyle, and they say their motivation comes from the newest member of their family. They tell me 5-month-old Corgi Hamilton helps them get in shape and get views. Evan Cruz and his girlfriend Sarah Gatto are UCF students working to get fit, but their motivation lies within their new puppy Hamilton. They say adding Hamilton to the family is making a commitment to him and to themselves.
We have to make the commitment that we are going to work out. We are going to continue to use this as a motivation to continue our growth and our development with each other, as well as with our weight goals and such.
Cruz and Gatto say they run a YouTube channel called Through Thick and Thin. The couple posts weekly weigh-ins and videos of the different ways they exercise and spend their time with Hamilton. One video they call Corgi Goes to College shows the three of them walking around campus.
It's all walking. There's so many things to do on campus, and it's fun because everybody sees Hammy and then freaks out and so excited.
Cruz and Gatto say they started their fitness journey together during quarantine and have a combined loss of over 180 pounds. They say their channel documents this progress and keeps them accountable. The channel shows you can lose weight while doing the things you love.
Speechless, love it. What would you rate it? 10. 10? I don't know.
The couple says they did not start the channel with the goals of becoming famous, but now they say having a big platform would be pretty exciting.
An anonymous group of UCF students run a TikTok slime account. The account has over 300,000 followers and more than 6.4 million likes. The students are known as Slime Girls UCF. They make videos of slime races and sing songs with a slimy twist. The girls say they have a lot of followers from UCF. They call them Slimies. The girls say they want to remain anonymous, but they say they will reveal themselves when they get to 1 million followers. The account started as a fun hobby between friends, but now they are thinking of selling merch.
And another TikTok success comes from a new donut shop in Orlando. The shop is gaining popularity through its viral videos. The Salty Donut Orlando location is up and running near the UCF community. The shop is popular among UCF students on TikTok. The videos featuring donuts are reaching thousands of views. The shop is following safety guidelines with social distancing and by requiring masks. Salty is also featuring vegan and gluten-free options. The Salty Donut is continuing to create multiple jobs for UCF students, and they say they continue to grow as the TikTok views rise.
To find out more about these viral nights, visit nsm.today. NSM Editor-in-Chief Emily Hernandez tells us what's happening on the web.
Thanks, guys. This week on NSM, love is in the air. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, check out how a UCF club plans on raising funds with their Puppy Bachelor event. Also during the month of February, we're digging into Black History Month. See how Black-owned businesses are being affected by the ongoing pandemic. And in sports, we're getting to know the new athletic director, Terry Mahajer, and keeping up with the state of our athletic department, along with continued coverage of UCF sports. So visit NSM today to see what's happening on the web.
Thanks, Emily. Valentine's Day is approaching. Taynna, is it safe to take my Valentine on a picnic this weekend?
Well, Jaret, I'm glad you asked because as you can see here on the map, the blue parts indicate mixed precipitation and the green part covering all Florida indicates rain with a possibility of thunderstorm. So you might want to consider staying at home and watching a movie with your Valentine this weekend. And right now we're going to take a look at the highest temperatures here in Florida. So for Tallahassee, we have 73 degrees, Jacksonville, we have 75, Tampa, we have 81, Orlando, 82, and Miami, 80. And now for the low temperatures, 61 in Tallahassee, 60 in Jacksonville, 67 in Tampa, 67 in Orlando, and 73 in Miami. And now we're going to take a look at our 5-day forecast. On Saturday, we have 81 degrees high, 66 degree low, and 60% of rain. On Sunday, we have 79 degrees high, 66 degree low, and 50% of rain. And on Monday, we have 80 degrees high, 67 degrees low, and 40% of chance of rain. On Tuesday, we have 79 high, 63 low, and 30% chance of rain. On Wednesday, we have 81 high, 68 low, and 20% chance of rain. And now, back to the desk with Jaret and Matison.
Thanks, Taynna. After the break, Learn more about how UCF is winning national championships through video games.
And Knight Nation has a new athletic director. Find out more about the new face behind UCF Athletics.
Hey Knights fans, first I want to say congratulations to the Tampa Bay Bucks and specifically Tom Brady for winning his 7th Super Bowl. I'm Sade Teel and here is this week's sports update. The Knights finally have a new AD as UCF announced the signing of Terry Mohajir this week. Mohajir joins UCF after spending the last 9 years at Arkansas State. Arkansas State Athletics won 25 total conference titles in the last 9 years, the most of any conference team. At ASU, Mohajir increased the athletic department's revenue by almost 150%. Mohajir stepped for former UCF AD Danny White, who is joining former head coach Josh Heupel at the University of Tennessee. Mohajir is searching for UCF football's next head coach. Football is not the only sport bringing home national championships. Esports at UCF has one of its own. Nightly News reporter Jaret Kappelman shows us what this esports club is all about.
UCF was formed last May while previously being a part of Gaming Knights, with teams in titles such as CSGO, Overwatch, League of Legends, Dota 2, and more. Club officers say there are over 80 players and 40 staff members. The club has 15 teams competing for cash and prizes. In just under a month of forming, the club's Counter-Strike team has won a national championship and $20,000. Team captain Brian Blue Sky Wortman says everything fell into place for the team during the championship run.
We just had a really good roster. We played really well. We communicated well. We were all good friends. It just all worked out.
For some members, winning isn't the only thing at stake. Making memories and getting to play video games with friends is another part of it. Alex Snipes Wasserman, a member of the Rocket League team, says that being a part of the club has been the best part of his college life.
It's been probably the best experience at UCF for me personally. The things I've gotten to do so far as part of the Rocket League team.
You don't need to be a professional to join esports at UCF. All you need is the proper gaming equipment and to join their Discord to stay updated on information about meetings and events the club is holding. Esports at UCF also has a marketing, broadcast, and events team, along with officers that oversee the club and work with professional organizations. In Orlando, Jaret Kappelman, UCF Nightly News.
For more information on competitions and events the club is putting on, you can visit their Twitter at esports@UCF. That is all the I have for you this week. Now back to Matison and Jaret at the desk, and as always, go Knights.
That's all the time we have for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our Twitter at UCF Knightly News.
And if you've got a story idea you want us to know about, send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynewsucf@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and charge on.